All right, we're gonna talk about God of War Laufey, Lafay. I don't even know how they're fucking saying this shit, to be honest. Maybe they said it during the presentation I didn't watch. I was awoken when they announced this from my slumber. I was sleeping on my couch, and I was told, "Hey, they're 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 showing off the new God of War game." And I looked over at the TV, and this is what I saw. I saw Faye, the wine mom no one asked for. Okay, the wine mom. No one asked for a game about Faye. Who was asking for this? No one. And I feel like that's the main takeaway here. No one was asking for this game. What people want, in my opinion, and I guess, but the general consensus I've seen from God of War fans is that they're looking for more like, I don't know, classic God of War stuff. And I guess they did it here, right? They brought back the aerial combat. Oh, wow. After two entire games, they brought back aerial combat. And it's like, okay, dude, I am just not super impressed. Uh, I really don't want to play as Faye. I don't care about her story, and I don't want, the little Huey cube talking to me, little oi. Unless Billy Butcher's in the game, then maybe that'd be funny enough where I could play it. But I just I just can't take it serious, dude. It's like it's Marvel-fied, and I guess that sort of already happened, especially in like Ragnarok. I feel like it became a Marvel movie a little bit. Uh, so I guess I shouldn't be too shocked. It just feels very, I don't know, millennial coded. It's like a burger joint with the fancy lights or whatever. It feels like that, okay? It just feels like kind of millennial slop, I suppose. Um, I don't use the word slop lightly either. I think it's overused, but this game, it does feel very, I guess, uncreative in its endeavor here, in its story. I'm just not interested. It just feels like a Marvel movie, and I'm not happy with that. And God of War has been like that for a little bit now. So I guess if you want more of the same with maybe a little bit improved gameplay and a character you barely care about, this is the game for you. I know you actually like God of War for, Kratos and being badass and, blood and guts and all that sort of thing. None of that. Just like in the last two God of Wars, there's barely any blood, barely any gore. The story in Ragnarok I thought was terrible. I'm not gonna lie. I thought God of War 2018 had a decent story, and that was basically its only saving grace, in my opinion. The gameplay I thought was terribly boring. It was like Uncharted mixed with Dark Souls. Terrible combo there. And I felt the same about Ragnarok, except the story was shitty. I hated the story in Ragnarok. I was bored. I barely finished that game. I think I waited. It took me like months and months to finish it because it was just that boring. So I don't know. This will probably be similar to that. Probably terrible story and a character no one cares about. So that's going to be even less motivating to play because at least people like care about Kratos. They're well invested into his story. But I don't know. Maybe I'll have to eat dirt on this. What if it comes out and it's just amazing and I'm like, fuck, I have to cope. Fucking here I go. I don't know though. I think it'll probably be kind of mid. I do want to take a little bit of a tangent here before we end the video, uh, because I do think people are overusing the term woke a little bit. Like in the new James Bond game, everyone's calling that game woke, and I get it to a certain extent. They made Money Penny black. Emma's an Indian woman. I understand. That could be a little. It's a little bit upsetting. I get it. Okay, I get it. The changing of the races, no one ever likes that, and I understand. And the changing of the genders too. Like it's just a little bit upsetting. But people are acting like the whole game is super super duper woke, and it's not. James Bond is still a Casanova in the game. He's still, you know, rizzing up the huzz, if that's what the kids are saying now. Uh, there's he's still sleeping with all sorts of different women, being a Chad as he is in the movies. And you know, people are also calling like all the women in the game ugly. I don't think so. There's some really like conventionally attractive women in the game, and people are like taking pictures of them at like the worst angle or whatever, and like these are the kind of girls. It's like these are like model level women easily, the ones that he's sleeping with in the game. Uh, and people are just being so ridiculous about it. But don't get me wrong, there is an undercurrent, I guess, of wokeness in the game. It's very like anti-AI and very like pro-green energy. We should be talking more about that. Like if you want to talk about James Bond being woke, let's look at the actual like story elements that it's including and not like I guess it's not even cherry picking. It's just like I guess obsessing on random women that James Bond doesn't even like sleep with in the game when he sleeps with like three women in the game that are really attractive. I just I don't understand why we're hard focusing on that. We should be hard focusing on the like the really constant push towards like green energy in the game they keep talking about. There's also some really cringy lines that they drop that are just like, okay, bro. Like, I don't know if you've ever met anyone in the military. I guess he's an airman in this one before he gets recruited to the Double O program. I'm not gonna lie, I can't remember if that was the case in the original stories or not. I feel like maybe it was. Uh, but either way, he does not talk like a military guy, like at all. Like any of the ones I've met in real life. He's like, oh yes, this is very culturally sensitive. Like he literally says some shit like that about his training camp. He's like, I see you've still kept the cultural uh styles alive here, and I'm sure it costed a lot of money to do it, or so. Like it was just like, okay, dude, why is he saying this? But I don't know. It's a mixed bag. I get there's some political stuff in the game. It is very well made, generally a very like smooth experience, similar to Uncharted. I guess I'd recommend it if you really enjoy Uncharted games, but I don't know. It definitely has its cringy scenes. I just think we're kind of focusing on the wrong stuff. We're constantly focusing on women, and don't get me wrong, that is a part of this. How they're portraying women, the types of women they're putting in the games. I get it. That's definitely a strong part of this. But I will say I think we're overdoing it. We should be focusing more on the actual elements in the game that are actually woke, actually progressive, and actually freaking cringe, okay? Because there's plenty of cringe to go around in these modern games, I promise. And you don't have to be like, women have small boobie. I don't like women with small boobie. I like women with big boobie. It's like, I get it, okay? I understand. But you can we can do both at the very least. Let's have a little bit more of a high-minded conversation about these things, and then I guess we can also do the lowbrow stuff too. So, I don't know. Just be mindful of what you're calling out in these games so it doesn't make us look ridiculous because people are online right now taking pictures of like literally models and being like these women are so ugly and gross. It's like, dude, you have never touched a woman that attractive. Like, what are you talking about? I don't know. People are just being over the top with it. Um, anyways, back to this God of War game. I am just not interested in this. And I feel like a lot of Gal fans are going to agree with me on this. Probably some of them will be like, what? No, I'm really interested in this. I love this game. It looks amazing. Look, aerial combat's back after being gone for 2 games. And to me, it's just too little too late on that front. I don't think it'll be the saving grace for combat. Um, the story still looks cringe. It feels Rick and Morty inspired. Like who's the guy you have on your like belt? He's like the talking head. So much of his lines I feel like were so like I don't know, they were like Reddit code. It just gave me like such like Marvel Reddit vibes that I just could not in Ragnarok with him. I just could not. So much of that game, or like the Angraboda scenes where she's like, oh, and it would like blow up a rock or something. Like I just cannot. I'm so sorry for peeking your microphone. I'm so sorry for blowing up your ears. Okay, that was maybe a little too much, but I just can't. I can't with Angrboda. I can't. That's all. That's all I have to say. You have a great day.